Welcome to movement number 15 of the Tai Chi Chih movement series. This one is called Working the Pulley. And let me show you what it looks like, and then we'll break it down. We are now returning to a forward-backward movement, so you're familiar with that foot movement. This is what the hands look like. I'll be mirroring you, so we're going to shift, sink, and step forward with your left foot. And this movement has a pivot on the front heel and a pivot on the back toes, so that as the body comes around, the whole shifting turns as one. We'll do one more. Wait, come around, and sink. Take a breath. So, to start this one, we'll start with the hand position. And it can seem confusing to have to do the two different things with your hands. So there's a strategy for that, and I'll show you what that is. But to start with, we're just going to relax your right hand and just come up to with your left hand as if it's saying hello. So this hand, if we're stepping out with the left foot, the left hand is sort of in the hello position. It doesn't wave in for real, but you can wave if you want to. Okay, so from the shoulder, coming forward, and then there's this small pulley action, and I'll turn to the side for you to see this actually, so you can see it's coming forward. There's a small pulley in front that the fingertips curve around, and then keeping the palm very flat, as if there is a drop of water that you don't want to fall off. The elbow comes behind the body turns, and then right here, right around the hip area, that drop of water just rolls off as the hand comes around a larger pulley in the back, tracing around, and then comes close into the body. So let me turn this way so you can see that it comes around in the back, comes close into the body, and then straight out from the shoulder. So it doesn't come over the top like if you were swimming the crawl freestyle. It comes up, close in, and straight out. Comes around, the smaller pulley in the front, elbow, drop of water, release, and because of that pivoting that's happening, feel free to turn your waist. Do one more on the left. Turn, comes up, close in, here, and then to close, comes around, up, and down. So let's try this with the right hand, because we sometimes have inconsistencies in our body, so it's just nice to practice. So your left hand will stay relaxed, you raise up your right hand. This would be now, if your right foot was stepping out, your right hand would be starting in this hello position. Coming forward, smaller pulley in front. Be really conscious of the curve that the fingertips trace around. And there's that drop of water, I'll turn to the side, that you don't want to fall out yet, to drop off. And then right about the hip, the forearm releases down, the whole arm comes behind the body, into the body, not staying out here, it comes around and in, and then pushes forward. Small curve in front, forearm parallel to the ground, drop of water, staying steady, and then releasing down as the whole front of the body turns, this time to your right. We'll do one more, and then we'll put it together. Comes around, up, and then to close, sinks down. Okay. So let's put this together, and actually we should practice with the legs just by themselves, because there is this pivoting action, and that's really important for you to include in it. It really enhances the expansion and contraction sensation of the movement, which is very important to generating the flow of the energy or chi that we're working with. So if we're in the resting pose, just take a breath here. And then relax your hands. Shift to your right. Sink. Keep the upper body still. Step out with the left heel. And then we're going to come forward. Pivot on that back heel. And let me move back just a little bit. Pivot on the back toes, front heel. As we shift back, the front toes turn away from the midline. As we come forward, the back heel pivots in towards the midline. And I'll show you from the side. Coming forward, the back heel pivots in and then turns back. Front toes pivot away and then back. You can use your own eyes to check that your feet are staying relatively in the same position once they've done their pivoting. You want to make sure they return correctly. And then bring in the front foot and sink. And let's do the other side. So take a breath. We just brought in the front foot. Great. And then stand and breathe. And we're going to actually do the right side of the body with one of our hands. So we're going to include the pivoting, but we're going to try it with one of the hands. Not both yet, but anyway. So shift to your left this time, sink. Step forward with your right heel, and your right hand will be saying hello. So we're going to come forward, pivot on the back toes. And then as you pivot on the front heel, you'll notice that your hand almost follows exactly the trajectory of the foot until it doesn't anymore, and then comes forward. So here the body turns. You can see the whole body turning at the same time. Comes up, around, straight out from the shoulder. It's very in sync, very opening to this side, and then opening to this side. And let me show you here, coming back, open, coming forward, comes around, in, and straight. And then bring your front foot in, resting pose. Okay. So when you put this movement together, what we're going to do is we're going to do both of the hands. You're only going to focus on one hand to start with, and you're just going to let the other hand come along for the ride until you feel comfortable. So that's how we'll learn it. You can trust that the other hand will get in sync eventually, so don't worry about that. But here we go. So we're going to take a breath in the resting pose. And then shift, sink, step, coming forward. And with my eyes, I'm going to follow this hand, pivot on the front heel as it comes around. Normally we wouldn't follow the hand with the eyes, but that helps us track it until we get comfortable, and then we let the head point straight, the eyes point straight ahead, or the head points straight ahead. But it helps to just track and make sure the fullness is happening. And then this hand waits. This hand comes up and around, and then everything sinks. All right, we just did working the pulley on the left side. Now let's practice it on the right side. So standing in the resting pose, take a breath. Shift to your left, I'm mirroring you, sink, step forward with the right heel, and because we're stepping forward with the right heel, this is the hello hand position of the same side, the right hand. And this one, the opposite hand is palm up. So with our eyes, since we're just learning, we're going to follow the right hand as it comes around that pulley, remembering in the feet that we're pivoting on the front heel, and we're just going to track the curve of the pulley that the hand traces in front and in back. And we're just going to track that, this time tracking along the right side. And you can certainly continue tracking. I'm going to keep my head forward because that's sort of how the movement's done, essentially. So always feel comfortable to adjust, to look, to check. Justin Stone used to say, never do Tai Chi Chih carelessly. And it's really worth wondering about, what does carelessly mean? And for me, I think that has evolved over the years that I've been practicing, but really it includes that aspect of don't override when I can feel something's off in my Tai Chi Chih practice. Check. Double check, look down, look around, make sure that things are in sync and refine as I go. So that's kind of one of the ways that I think about don't do Tai Chi Chih carelessly. Keeping our awareness in the bottoms of the feet and returning time and time again when we lose that focus in the bottoms of the feet. And just keep returning back and breathe. We'll do one more. We've done, I think, probably a lot more than the other side, but that's okay. We try to do the same number on both sides. Let this hand wait. Right hand, right foot, come up and around, and everything sinks. Take a breath. Great. And then stand and take another breath.